Hello friends, thank you for joining me today. I have a very exciting announcement and I wanted to start talking to you guys about it before it's even complete because I want your input on the final design of the project. So I started designing a devotional bullet journal to help believers to focus on the basic things that they need in their life in order to come into a deeper relationship with God and not lose track of those things. And the journal is called 3-1 Things, and it's based off of a chapter in this book right here. This book is by Dr. Greg Crawford, and it's called Finding the Ultimate Purpose to Life. Now there is a chapter in here called 3-1 Things, and it's based off of the scriptures that they all end up talking about how one thing I have need of. There's one thing that we need, and the 3-1 things that this journal is based off of is seeking Him, sitting at Jesus' feet, and forgetting the past. So these 3-1 things, if we do these 3-1 things consistently in our life, we will have an ever-growing, deeper relationship with God. So I wanted to design the journal according to those 3-1 things. So I have different pages in this bullet journal that will help you to focus on them and not lose track of them in your life. And I'm just going to very quickly go over the pages that I have already designed. I'm not finished with all the pages yet. I haven't quite decided on all of them, but I've been praying into this and seeking God and studying what is really needed on each page. And right now, the ones that I have completed are the communion journal page. So I started designing this page actually to just help myself originally because I began to take communion and I felt that God wanted me to take communion consistently for this month. And I had been studying into communion, what it means, and what we need to do in order to prepare our heart really to be able to receive communion and what it's about. And I definitely discovered some things along the way. And I won't go into depth of what I discovered here in this video, but when I'm completely finished with the journal and it's completely finished and ready for release, then I will go into those things that I discovered. Another page that I have pretty much completed, I think. Well, I've actually got 2 pages that focus on prayer and the things that we really need to focus on in prayer daily, really. So the first page looks like this, and it's quite simple to just make sure that we're focusing on the things that we need to not lose track of in our prayer life. Each of these pages go along with our one things. There's different sections in each page, and they sometimes overlap and intertwine on whether or not they're like seeking Him, sitting at His feet, or forgetting what's behind. But each section is designed to help cultivate at least one of those 3 areas. So the second page of the prayer journal looks something like this. And it has 4 different sections on it. Answered prayer or testimony. I think it's so important to make sure that we don't forget that we actually record and value those answered prayers and value the testimonies that and those things that we see the hand of God moving in our lives. And when we don't take time to write them down, we can let go of them. And it helps us to journal so that we take the time and we slow down. And really contemplate and talk to God about those things that happen in our lives so that we don't take them for granted, and that we can always reference them later. We can always look back on them if we have them written down, and we won't forget. And part of it really is just valuing what God has done in our life enough to write it down. God writes everything down. God writes everything in His books in heaven, and He records every moment of what happens on this earth. He values those things, and why don't we value what He does in our lives just as much? So another section is Adoration and Praise. We always want to just take a moment to reflect and recognize and give God the praise that is due him, because he is a grand, majestic God that did so much for us that we didn't deserve, and he really deserves all worship as a holy God. And section for confession. So a Christian life is not one where you just accept what Christ did for us and what he paid for our lives to be able to then have a relationship with the Father and eventually go to heaven when we pass away. But our life is supposed to be something of continual relationship, continual repentance, continual renewal, and continual regeneration in our lives. And when we lose track and forget that we should always be growing, we should always be shifting, we should always be confessing different things in our lives to be able to receive the grace from God to make changes in those areas and not just stay right where we're at and never mature. It's so important to do this as a daily part of our life. And just another section for requests, because there's different kinds of prayer, and there's different ways that we can ask God in prayer for things, and this is just a simple box to do that. I think what I'm going to do is add another page for prayer, because, well, I'm not sure yet. I might add another page because there's different kinds of prayer, and I might do a section for those different kinds of prayers, but I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Okay, sorry, getting situated. And then it's just gratitude. Having gratitude every single day, and just making a list and reminding yourself that there are things to be grateful for, and again, not taking for granted what God has given you, and to remember to always be grateful, always have Thanksgiving. He always wants us to have an attitude of Thanksgiving. I forgot, I wanted to show you guys these. So on each page, I've just got these little doodles in each corner of the page to remind us that it really is that simple. There are 3 things that we want to keep in mind, and as you fill out the journal, you can contemplate those things and reflect on whether or not you're really cultivating those things in your life and which areas you can work more on. So I have another page that I just finished that's really focused on the seeking him and what that means. And again, I won't go into it right now, but when I finish the journal, the very beginning of the book, I'm going to have a chapter that's just, I'm going to try to keep it to 1 page, 1 page per page. So 1 page of explanation of the revelation that God showed me about each page and what God wants us to focus on in each section as we fill them out in our days. And there will be some teaching and explaining what those 3 things are in more depth. And this one is definitely, this page is pretty heavy on the sitting at his feet and tarrying before God and reflecting on really the heart of God and learning how to be like Mary, but the reality is we're to be both like Mary and like Martha. But you really can't be an effective Martha doing the work of ministry and serving others if you don't also take the time to do the one thing and sit at Christ's feet and just be with him and listen to everything he wants to tell you, rather than taking all of your time with him to be always asking him for things, always praying, and kind of like, when you're in an emergency and things are bad and you just pray because things are bad. That's not really much of a relationship. An intimate, loving relationship, you take time to just be with one another, and that's one thing that is needed if you're going to have a really deep Christian walk and really know the heart of God. That will only come in times of waiting on him and tarrying and sitting at his feet. So this page, I hope, will help you do that. Okay, so I am going to design this as a physical journal that will be printed. You can purchase it, and I'm trying to make it as inexpensive as possible, so that it's within your means to have and to use as a tool. I'm also going to design a digital version of the book because I've recently gotten super into digital notebook kind of things and everything digital, like since I bought my iPad. So I've already started practicing and trying to use my my template in an app called GoodNotes. So I will be designing a GoodNotes PDF digital version of this journal as well. And I will also have the templates free and available to print yourself if you, really don't have the money to invest in getting the book off of Amazon when it comes out, or don't have a means to do it digitally. I want these pages to be available for everybody to use. So there will be that option as well if you really can only have a few pages and have them print out for yourself. So that is what I have so far in the pages that I have designed. That's kind of my plan and where I'm headed towards, and it's subject to change a little bit. I haven't quite finished it, and I wanted to kind of leave it open a little bit before I really set in stone every page and design and what we're headed towards, because I wanted to ask you, what are the things that you would like to see? If you have ideas of pages or things to focus on that you would really like to see in this journal, please comment below and let me know, because now's the opportunity that you have to kind of help design a journal so that it really fits your needs. So this is just one of many projects that I have currently under construction. So this is the first one that I am going to complete. It's a simple one. I'm really excited about it, and I've already started using these tools for my own life, and I'm hoping to get this out just ASAP. It really shouldn't take more than a couple months at most, unless I get super distracted. But I won't, I've decided. So I'm just really pumped about it, and I hope that these tools will help you, and I hope that you comment below and let me know what you'd like to see. I hope that this video got you excited about it. Again, I really hope that you comment, because I really want to know and hear from you guys. And if you are excited about it, let me know. Yeah. It'll be available on Amazon when it's ready. If you want to get the announcement right away, the moment it's finished, and when it's available, you can follow me on my social media pages on Facebook or Instagram, and you can follow me at kathyrolling. I will post a link below to my social medias as well. If you liked this video and want to see more, please hit like, hit subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the notification button so you can see when my videos come up. You will see a video from me every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and I go through a bunch of different subjects. I talk about prophetic art, I talk about sketch notes and sermons, and I'll teach periodically on here and do some discipleship kinds of things, or I'll make announcements like today about different projects. And I hope that you choose to follow me, because I hope to hear from you in the comments. So thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.